Hello, baseball fans and fans of fun. Thank you for joining us for another episode of 6 Inning Stretch with Lindsay, Dunn, and Whit Merrifield, presented by Betway. And Whit, we have so much to talk about. Last time I saw you, we were filming on the surface of the sun in Hotlanta. But shout out to you for driving 9 hours to give the people what they want. Let me know this. When you're driving, are you someone that's listening to tunes and like just screaming at the top of your lungs? Or are you a silent driver?
I'm not a silent driver. I am. There's this really funny local morning show that I like to listen to, and so on the way up there, it was the perfect timing for me to listen to that day's morning, Monday's morning show, and then on the way back, I listened to a lot of the parts of the show of days where I didn't get to listen. So they're entertaining, and it's always been kind of in my background noise, and so I listen to them.
Well, what's kind
of like a podcast, but a local podcast, I guess.
We have an entertaining moment on this episode. We have Kevin Gausman. A little backstory to that is that was something we recorded when we were still just young, up-and-coming podcast hosts. We recorded it before we even recorded our debut episode, so I'm slightly terrified of it, but I'm sure all I remember is Gauzy Dog.
3-4, he's the man. Gauzy is the absolute best.
And so when we actually talk about the Blue Jays and Gausman, when they came back out of the All-Star game, they took on our first cyber guest, Matt Chapman, and the San Francisco Giants and swept them. A couple things I was shocked about was just the fact that there were so many Giants fans at the ballpark. When you were playing for either the Kansas City Royals or the Jays, were you ever remember being at a ballpark and kind of surprised, being like, hey, there's a lot of our fans here. I know Jays fans, they travel well.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. When I went to Toronto I think my first series was in Minnesota, and I was like, good Lord, there's a ton of Jays people here. And I didn't, if you think about it, it makes sense because it's the only team in Canada. So when you play in the central part of America, the Canadians from the central part of the country come down. Same with Seattle. Seattle was like a playoff game. It was like 50-50. It was crazy. So that was something that I wasn't prepared for. Going to the Jays is how many fans traveled for the Jays, which is a really cool thing, and not something you see a lot in baseball outside of the Yankees or the Red Sox. I guess the Giants. I didn't realize the Giants had such a following in Toronto.
But
people. Toronto's, yeah. I think I've said it before. Toronto is the top 3 city destination for a visiting team to go to. So I'm sure it's the same for fans.
Not if you are the Yankees. Although their fans travel to Toronto, they are despised by Jays Nation. And I'm curious, when you were traded here from the Kansas City Royals, obviously like the Yankees, you didn't despise them as much as Jays fans do. Did you adapt kind of that rivalry, or when you went to, any of the other teams and kind of feel that hatred from the fans?
Well, yes. And I guess a little bit. It's when you're playing, there are teams that you don't like because of X, Y, and Z. There are players that you don't like. There are players that on teams which make you dislike the teams. With the Yankees at the time, there was nobody on the team that I disliked. I actually liked all those guys, but we had a couple instances with them when I was on the Jays. Manoah chirped at him in Yankee Stadium. The Judge thing with Pete Walker, our great pitching coach, where Judge it looked like he was peeping at the first base coach to get if the first base coach had a tip on the pitcher, he might move if it's an off-speed pitch, which is perfectly legal, by the way. It's 100% a legal thing to do, and other teams do it. Other teams should do it if the pitcher is giving away his pitches. So, but Pete can get a little emotional and called him out on that. And Schneider and I think their third base coach had some words for each other. So there was a lot of instances with that team specifically. I think it stemmed from more of a Schneider dislike towards the Yankees that kind of rubbed off on kind of everybody else. But yeah, you could definitely feel a rivalry with them. And it's when you got two good teams competing at a high level, stuff like that happens. And now, especially because the Jays kind of came out of nowhere and are first place now, the Yankees feel like they are or should be the favorite in the division. Well, they're not anymore. So I'm sure that created a little bit of more tension between the two. And the Yankees now have some more polarizing figures on that team. If you look at guys like Yaz Chisholm and guys that just like to suck up the camera.
That's like, what was it? 3 home runs he hit in the home run derby. I can't even remember, but I laughed because we'll leave it at that one.
Yeah, I mean, Jazz is great. I've heard he's an awesome dude. He's a polarizing guy because he enjoys being on the camera, and when that happens, you're gonna have people that love you and people that hate you, and not much in the middle.
I remember that moment with AJ, as you call him, because he's your bestie, Aaron Judge, and the kind of looks and, questioning with Pete Walker. I did a whole story the next day for the news outlet I work with calling the Yankees cheaters. I was having fun, and I would just walk up to any Yankees fan that I knew and be like, hey, you're a Yankees fan. How does it feel to be cheering for a cheater? And they were just so caught off guard, and I was kidding. But when it comes to like the media, and sometimes there are beefs going into this series with the Yankees, there was a little bit of a beef between a Blue Jays broadcaster and a Yankees broadcaster. This is right after the Jays swept the Yankees the first time. The Yankees broadcaster said that, the Blue Jays are not a first place team and that they're not playing great baseball. So then the Blue Jays broadcaster, Jamie Campbell, who is a saint, was like, no. I got no time for this. It went back and forth. So there was this kind of animosity even building up going into that series. But for you as a player, did you ever have a member of the media or even another player say something to you that just pissed you off and it fueled you and they absolutely ate it after?
Not specifically because, there I should say there was a lot of stuff said about, me coming up and not in like I dislike you and I want to talk down on you type of way, but say it goes the same with a team when a team is not supposed to be as good as they are, and now you look back and the Jays in late July or like 4 games up, you're gonna try to find ways to validate your preseason thoughts that this team wasn't as good, and so you're going to try to find ways to knock them down and say, well, they're not really as good as their record shows because they're not playing good teams or this X, Y, and Z. This guy can't sustain this hot streak he's on. Stuff will catch up to him. Anyway, there's always going to be excuses because nobody wants to be wrong. Nobody wants to admit, this team full of kids that we didn't really know much about is way better than we thought they were. And it's the same as a player. For me, I wasn't a prospect at all. And so when I started having success, people that were the ones making up the prospect lists were going to try to find ways to say a lot of it was I got called a cute little player a lot, which really bothered me for some reason. Not exactly I guess it's better than being called a bad little player, but cute little player really, really got to me. There was a couple members in Kansas City that would call me that, and I wanted to be more than that, but I was never looked at as like the next coming guy that's going to help this team. So there were a lot of things across my career that people didn't think I could sustain success, and they said it in a nice way, but at the same time, you're telling me I'm not as good as I think I am. So that'll get you over time. But I did a really good job over my career. For the most part, there were times where I didn't do as good of a job, but for the most part, I did a really good job of not really paying attention to what people were saying and just staying in my lane. And I encourage the Blue Jays to kind of do the same thing. But, media members are meant to talk about the team, and they're going to hear what other people are saying. So if there's no drama, there's no fun, right?
Well, no drama, no fun. They're going to be taking on the Tigers on the road. And he talked about kind of trying not to pay attention to what the media is saying. Since the All-Star break, I've seen multiple reports and just fans online saying how the Tigers are going to go to the World Series and all this hype. Even surrounding the Jays, though, I kind of see it around the clubhouse. People are making such a big deal about when they tied that record for 10 consecutive wins at home. Was it sometimes hard to ignore that outside noise, even if it is really positive?
Yeah, because you're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as you think you are. Especially in this game, there's so many stretches of highs and lows. I mean, though they went on that 10-game win streak. Everybody's gonna think that this is the best team in baseball. They were at the time, but they're also gonna lose 4, 5, 6 in a row at some point this year. I hate to break it to you, but they're going to. And it's going to be the same team that won 10 in a row. It's just how baseball works. It's how it is. And the ones that can prolong those high streaks and shrinking, is that right? Shrunken? No. Can limit, I'll change. I can limit the cold streaks are the ones that have really good years. And then once you have a really good year, you set yourself up for the playoffs, and then nothing matters. And nothing that you did matters before other than you got to the playoffs. Now it's a whole new season. Can you get hot again? Can you get on it? Can you go through a hot streak and win the division, win the CS, and then get to the World Series, and anything can happen. So that's got to be the end goal, and that's got to be the focus. Not, oh, we won 10 in a row, let's go ahead and start picking out our champagne bottles and what size rings I am. And it's hard to do. We're human. It's hard to do, but yeah, I think there's a lot of players in that clubhouse that have been there before, like George and Scherzer, and I hope those guys are helping steer these young guys kind of in the right mindset.
Well, I know Gausman's always in the right mindset because he is a legend, a GOAT, a king, whatever you want. We talked about this. He's one of my favorites. I love watching him pitch. I love seeing him throw that splitter. But as much as I would like to say you were the greatest baseball player of all time, and every time you went up to bat and a pitch was thrown, you'd hit a home run every time, sometimes you'd strike out, which is something Gausman does to a lot of players. Can you go through the mindset of when you're walking back to the dugout? Because you know, like, cameras are on you and sometimes you're just pissed. Like, what are you thinking about?
Well, disclaimer, Gausman never struck me out. So
you just ended your career.
Shout out to me. But no, there's a lot that goes on. I mean, because it's a long, lonely walk back to that dugout, and you're kind of embarrassed. When you're going good, you're thinking about what happened and how you can improve on that the next at bat. That's the ideal mindset, is you take that walk to digest it and to think about the next at bat. And then by the time you get to the steps, that at bat's over, you're worried about defense and your next at bat. When it's going bad, you got your head down, you're looking in the stands, see who's looking at you, trying not to trip on the steps as you go in, thinking about what you're going to slam, thinking about, all right, do I need to punch something? If I punch it, I'm going to punch it with my opposite hand so I don't hurt my throwing hand. Do I want to try to snap this bat on my knee? It's going to hurt if I don't do it good. So am I that mad? There's a lot of stuff. Is there a kid next to the dugout? So can I drop a big F-bomb? It's baseball's, it can take you to some dark places. It's a hard game. It's a game that beats you up over and over and over again. So, strikeouts. There was one time in Texas. Texas is like, it's a new stadium, and the dugouts are kind of built a little strange. They're kind of like Boston, to where they're more like up the line a little bit. And usually when I strike out, I'd put my head down and make sure I didn't trip over my feet as I was walking back in. And this was my first time playing in Texas. I struck out, and I was walking back to the dugout, and I was walking like the same angle I usually walk back to the dugout, and ended up like beside the on deck circle, almost walking into the on field suites because the dugout was way over there. But that was really embarrassing. That was almost more embarrassing than tripping over my feet. But yeah, I never recommend striking out.
No. When you would go up to bat, though, and you guys do the friendly greetings with the ump or whoever the catcher is, when you sometimes, like, you get along with everyone, but sometimes there might be an ump that you're just like, I'm not a fan of you. Did you ever kind of chirp them or the catcher as soon as you got up there? Like, what are some of the things you guys would say?
I would always try to slick up to them so they give me some calls, even if I didn't like them. I'd always try to be super nice to them, especially when I was playing second base. I would really try to talk to the guy and get personal with them. Some guys had no interest in talking, but most of the time we'd carry on some good conversations. Never really seemed to help. I'd always end up getting shafted at one way or another by an umpire. Maybe because I was too nice to him. They were like, "Oh, this kid's he's not gonna yell
Cute
at me."
Baseball player.
Yeah. But But no, yeah, I would always just say hello and I would always try to remember their names, or I always try to learn the umpires' names. They don't like for them to be they don't like for you to call them like blue or ump or something. So I would know everybody's name and say, hey, Bruce, hey, Mark, hey, Alan, whoever it was. And the catcher too. Say hello to the catcher and then go. You don't have much time anymore. You used to have time to listen to your song, get your nice little pimp walk up there and do your thing, adjust your helmet, your batting gloves, make sure everybody's looking at you. Now you got to kind of run to the box, dig in, and make sure you're looking at the pitcher before it's 8 seconds left. Sucks.
I love this so much.
First world problems, yeah.
First world problems. Yeah. Well, I'm going to let you have the honor of introducing our guest.
Yeah. I mean, just an absolute legend of a human being. Cy Young caliber pitcher every single year. 200-plus strikeout guy every single year. Durable guy you want spearheading your pitching staff. Just a legend of a dude. And he's 34. Call him 3-4, and it's Kevin Gausman.
You know that feeling when you're soaking up the sun, just vibing with your people, and you wish you could make that moment last forever? Well, that's what summer's all about. And for me, one of my favorite ways to enjoy it, sitting on the patio, Jays are on the road, I'm listening to the radio, and I'm having a cold Simply Spiked lemonade in hand. It's a perfect summer moment. Simply Spiked is all about those juicy, refreshing vibes. And you've got the OG lemonade, which is a total classic, the peach, which is super sweet, it's juicy, and the newest in the lineup, Simply Spiked Limeade, a little sweet, a little tart, and totally refreshing. Summer vibes are at an all-time high. These are the kinds of drinks that pair perfectly with summer hangs, which is barbecues, pool parties, going to the cottage, a night out on the deck, just chilling. So here's the move. Grab a variety pack and try them all. Pick up Simply Spiked at your local liquor store for your next summer hangout. And of course, celebrate responsibly. You must be legal drinking age. Gausman, aka Gauzy, or when I text Whit, it's all caps. It just says, Gausman! Thank you for joining us. I don't know why it happens. It just does.
Yeah. Now everyone that we talk about has to be all caps because, we are special, but...
I only give the honor to you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I appreciate that.
Before we get into anything about anything, there's one question I've been wanting to ask both of you for years. What was it like going to the Nelly concert in Toronto with Brandon Belt and just that vibe and everything about it? I just feel like you guys probably let loose.
That was awesome. Didn't know beforehand, or didn't know till after the fact that Belt had hired Nelly to perform at his wife's 30th birthday party. So Nelly performed in the backyard. And then we went to the concert, and it was.
Yeah, it was just like 2000 bangers, like what we grew up listening to in middle school. Like it was cool. It was really cool, and that venue is pretty cool too. Like it was crazy how many people were there. Yeah, but it was fun.
So kind of along those same lines, last year when I was with the Braves, one of the pitchers on the team last year, I won't say his name because I don't know if he'd like me sharing this, but before he pitches, we would go and there'd be a group of 5 or 6 of us that would go take a shot. He would get done with the bullpen and come in. We go in the locker room and take, a small, little shot of Crown just to salute the game.
Love that.
And one game, Usher was in town throwing out the first pitch. And he threw out the first pitch. We're all getting warmed up, go in the dugout. The pitcher comes in. We go upstairs to the locker room. And Usher's exiting, and I yell at him. I go, Usher, you want to take a shot? And he kind of laughed, and his manager was with him. He goes, I think he's serious. So Usher was like, yeah, I'll take a shot. So he came over, and there was 8 of us around, and Usher did the salute, said, hope y'all win or something like that. And we took a shot with Usher before the game. And then
That's awesome.
So then we're like, we need Usher around all the time. Yeah. One of the coolest things that's ever happened to me was taking a shot pregame with Usher.
Yeah, I didn't think that was coming before the day started,
No.
I was pretty excited you met Vince Scully and took a photo when you were in Baltimore. I was going to ask you if there's anyone you've ever fanboyed over, but I guess you didn't take a shot with Usher. That was pretty cool.
Honestly, I don't know who my big fanboy moment would be. Honestly, I think it would be it would have to be a chef. If Gordon Ramsay walked in, I think I would be dude.
What do you got?
Teach me how to make your beef Wellington.
I was like, yes,
Beef
the
Wellington
show.
would put you on the on the fan.
That's what
boy
he's known
watch.
for. That's what he's known
No, I know. Oh, that's funny.
You actually, one of my favorite tweets, you put like, how do I just become an influencer and get paid to go to restaurants to eat food? How has that panned out since that tweet a couple years ago?
You know, I was hoping that I would kind of get a little bit more DMs than I did get. You know, and I even said, like, I'm willing to pay for the money for the food. Like, I'll pay for the food. Just let me kind of come in and try out all this stuff, you know. And I think it was Whit that you did a thing with was it Burger Priest or
Cabanos. They're right there.
Okay, yeah,
we got
some
stacks.
So you got some burger, yeah.
We need the Gaussy grinder.
I know we can need a Gossy dog, like a hot dog with like.
What would be on the Gossy
It
dog?
makes me think of it like a gassy dog. Like you're just gonna make you
Can
gassy.
make you gassy? Yeah, maybe we shouldn't do that then. Maybe that's something they do on Tuesdays with the Looney Nights. You know, like
You got some points.
how much is a hot dog on Looney Nights? It's $1.
It's
right?
$1, yeah.
So maybe you make the Gauzy dog or the gas dog
Gas dog.
$2 because like, or maybe you make it less because you're gonna have to deal with some repercussions after.
A little extra chili on there.
$1 million idea. So there would be chili on there is what we're going with.
Or I feel like you got to do something like Canadian. You
Maple
gotta,
syrup.
like some poutine,
Poutine?
on there. You know, like,
Yeah.
Have you
Gravy
even
hot
said that?
dogs.
I would eat that.
Delicious.
That is just
Sounds wonderful.
that sounds exactly like what we thought might happen.
absolutely.
Sounds
So,
like something that would be in the Cajun in the bayou.
Yeah, for sure.
really
Oh,
does.
they'll eat anything. It's crazy. You don't even want to know what you're eating.
Speaking of, we're October 11th. I plan on you guys still being in the playoffs. So I expect your house will be vacant. And you should know the Cox are coming to town to wreak havoc
Big game
in the bayou.
Big game. We're really.
So
I circled that game on my calendar.
So what room should I put my stuff in?
We probably got
an outhouse?
like a closet or something. We could probably put an air mattress in or something.
I plan on the game going a certain direction in favor of the Cox. And then really not sleeping a lot. I just need somewhere to just stash my stuff and then just, I'm out the next morning.
But we do have a segment on the show called Extra Innings, and we show some clips or whatever about people or what's happening. So these are 3 for you. And please talk to me after I play this. But this is one of my favorite moments from the season. For those listening, it was the game that Gauzy got ejected this year. And then what happened after that? What were you saying? Like, have a great day. I'm going to just have a little fall down these stairs, or...
I think I said, I'm going to go watch how great you've been inside.
Who were you yelling at? Who was it?
You know what? I don't even know. I don't even know.
I all stink.
Yeah, I wasn't very happy, but I obviously, I've been at Yankee Stadium a lot, and then somehow I forgot that there's stairs right there. And so there's probably 7 stairs, and I probably fell down 3 of them. It could have been a lot worse, but the video is pretty good. I mean, I just disappeared,
What was your phone like
missed that.
after? Like, glad you're okay, but please tell me you're getting razzed pretty hard.
Oh, yeah. Everybody was wearing me out. My brother's a high school teacher at our high school. My brother played baseball. And so anytime anything happens with me, like, he just gets bombarded by people. So he got to his email from his school, and he had like 10 different teachers sending him this, like, hey, your brother fell down the stairs yesterday,
I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm seeing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
It is
do you
an
want to
absolute
watch it
treat.
one more time?
Yeah,
And I
please.
edited it so it was multiple times. Where'd it go? One more
Honestly,
time.
if they had the view from the end of the dugout, looking in the dugout, that would be amazing.
It's so good.
So
Because you would just see my leg just buckle.
day game, was it a getaway day? Do you remember? Did you get worn out on the bus?
I think it was a Saturday day game. I think we had a game the next day. Yeah.
So then were you more angry after because you fell, or did that kind of break the anger that was happening in that moment?
I mean, I was already embarrassed, so let's just add more to the embarrassment.
Who's
whatever?
the mic guy now?
George.
Is he?
Yeah.
Because I know if that would have happened in 23 when we had KK on the mic,
Oh,
it would have
Kiermaier,
been, been a great bus ride.
It would have been brought up every bus ride.
It would have
for
been
sure.
amazing.
Yeah.
Mic guy, the buses have
They
mics
let us in.
and microphone. You can hear it all
Yeah.
on the bus, and so you get on and you talk about the series, the upcoming series, talk shit on somebody, bring up funny things that happen like this.
We used to have a hotline.
Yeah,
so
hotline.
KK would say his number, 225, hit me up if you got anything. It's anonymous. So it was all anonymous. So he'd get a text from someone, he'd just look at his phone, and he'd be like, oh.
It was,
And then he'd, go in on it.
it got
It got a little aggressive at
aggressive.
times.
because it was anonymous, and then people started realizing that anything they said, nobody could trace it back to them.
No.
And so people started getting their feelings hurt big time.
Yeah, it got a little,
And it was a little aggressive. And
long flights, maybe a little too many.
middle of July, middle of
beverages,
August, everybody's getting on each other's nerves.
Yeah.
I
that
like
would have
this.
that would have definitely made the hotline.
Oh, absolutely. I like, and then this, I just want you to talk to us after, and mostly I have to see you more here at the ballpark, but like,
Oh, there you go.
watch this.
And Crawford is coming. Here comes the throw. And
Yeah. Sneaky good swing.
it is
Yeah. It's just like Barry Bonds,
That's
you know?
it. Might as well.
You
Same
win
uni.
the game, they go and they're like, was that what you expected? This is exactly what we expected at the
I
beginning of
know.
the game.
It was really cool because it was a Saturday night and the Braves were pretty good then. We were really good that year. And so it was a packed house. So it was crazy. Like, Kapler came to me and was like, hey, we don't have anybody else. Like, you might hit. And then sure enough, they got to my spot and they had an open base. So they intentionally walked the guy in front of me. So I just happened to get to 3-2. I was like, there's no way this guy's throwing me an off-speed pitch.
Who was it? Who was pitching?
Jacob Webb. I never pull the ball. So, like, that's me getting all of the
Barreled it?
ball pull. Yeah.
And then the last one, it's not a video. It's actually just a tweet. I want you to read. Don't read it beforehand. Just read
Okay.
it. Okay.
There ain't no way in hell Big Sean is comfy in all that leather. That's got serious butt sweat written all over it. Hashtag all leather everything. Hashtag lots of cows.
Author of that.
That was me.
Kevin Gausman.
Yep.
Can I read this?
Yeah. Hall of Fame tweet.
It's comfy.
Yeah, I think sometimes I need to probably think a little bit more.
No, when I told him, like, you know what,
Yeah.
serious butt sweat, you probably should have consulted him and his stylist, because I bet you after he's like, man, you knew this so well.
Yeah.
You're a man of the people. I just want you to know that Whit had a conversation the other day when we were talking about how you had to go hit and all this other stuff, that when he had a pitch as a position pitcher, he said, what was it like? It's not that hard.
I filled the zone up. I filled the zone up. I don't know what else you want.
I mean, when it's, yeah,
When it's
when
coming in
we're
at
throwing
62.
62,
Yeah.
it's easy to lob it in there, you know?
And like I said, some Joe Adele hit a homer off me. Next guy stepped in, first pitch, bang, drilled him.
Drilled them. Love it.
Didn't
Iron
hurt-
tight?
didn't
How
hurt-
hard?
No, I got him in
67?
like the calf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Speaking of that, did you know that Kevin ended my career?
Was this, I do. I was going to say you guys were teammates, and then in Atlanta.
Yeah. So what happens with a pitcher is when they do their scouting reports and they go through the team, and the pitcher comes to a guy that he knows he can't get out. He has to like come up with something. Like, are we just gonna walk him, or do I got to come up with something? Kevin threw me the only sinker he's ever thrown in his whole life, and I fouled it off my foot and broke my foot, effectively ending my career.
Is that
Oh,
what
man, I
happened? Can
forgot
you take
about
us through this? That's exactly what happened, right? That's what went through your mind. And you're also, not only you thought you couldn't strike him out, you hate Whit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about hitting him.
I
But
had,
then I was like, he'll just hit himself if I throw this pitch.
had actually just been hit in the head. This is my first game back. I'm getting drilled in the head, like 2 games prior.
Forgot about that.
So I just got
You're
drilled in the
welcome back.
head.
Let me break your leg now.
Had a game off to see if I could see straight. We're good. Gossy on the mound, bang, off the foot. Actually ended up I was out for like 4 or 5 days and ended up playing on it more, but really wasn't playing.
What was it like as a teammate?
See, I'm a
Man, Whit as a teammate. I mean, first off, he's as professional as it gets. Like,
told you.
to be honest, I mean, and you don't really get to the level that he has got to as a hitter without being that way, you know? And so it's kind of crazy because I'd never really faced Whit too many times, which is kind of crazy because I was in the American League for a really long time. And then we kind of switched. Like I went to the NL, and when he was kind of ruling the AL.
Did I ever face you until I don't
that
think
was
I did.
the first time.
Yeah, I don't think I did.
That was the first time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was always like, man, this guy's really good, but if you saw my split, you know, like he's got no chance.
There's my favorite Gauzy story is pitchers are always aware, or I would say paranoid would be a better word, about tipping. They're always thinking they're tipping. And usually when a guy throws a split, at some point throughout his life, he tips the split. So it's you want to try to figure it out. And so we're playing in 23, and I think you would just come off maybe like your outing before wasn't great, and you were shoving that year, so probably give up like 2 or 3 in like 5 innings or something. Didn't strike out 10, so it was a bad outing for him. And so there was like 40 guys that whole week trying to figure out if Gauzy was tipping. So we end up playing the Giants. So they figure out something. They think that people are relaying from second base his grip, and he's getting like barreled. Like guys are whacking him. Brandon Crawford hits a ball almost oppo that I have to make a miraculous catch on. But so they're whacking him.
I remember this game a little bit different. But
and afterwards, I remember Gauzy saying something to Crawford about like, was I tipping or something? And Crawford said, yeah, you were showing me your whole hand. You were so worried about guarding your hand from the guy at second that I could see everything from home plate. It just shows you how dumb pitchers are. That was
yeah.
Actually, I think he did shove that game. I think Crawford hit some balls hard, which put a red flag up in his mind because he shouldn't be hitting balls hard off Gauzy. And I think we were saying, if you're telling people what's coming, they still can't hit you. You got something going.
Yeah, I remember talking to Brandon the next day.
Yeah.
And he just told me straight up, he was like, hey, if I had something, would you want to know? And I was like, yeah, of course. And he was like, yeah, you were hiding to the guy on second, but you were showing the grip straight to me. I was like, there's no way. And I went back and watched the video, and sure enough, I was like, split, here we go. He's about to throw this. You can't see it, but the guy hitting can. Yeah, not too smart.
I want to talk about the mound visits, though, because like I fully believe sometimes when they come and talk to you guys just say whatever you want. We're just, hey, coming out here, somebody's absolutely crop dusting the entire dugout. Just wanted to get out of here. Let me go back.
Honestly, I think before the clock, that was true. There was a lot more like, you know, hey, like, you know, I just want to give you a breather, and like maybe they'll tell you a joke real quick or something, you know, or like, you know, the cliche, like I've heard had so many catches that have come out, and, you know, it's the whole summer catch thing. Like, yeah, you know, where's those pitches? You know, those are strikes, but, you know, I've been farting in this guy's face all day. So like, we're not going to get anything. So you used to have that. But now with the pitch clock, you know, it's like when we actually have a visit, it's like, it's usually when we're in the shit, you know? So it's like, we got to figure out how we're going to get out of this, you know? I feel like before the clock, it was a lot not as serious mound visit. Yeah.
It depends on the pitcher too. I mean, Gauzy's kind of a serious, he's a little bit different when he's pitching than he is, a lot different when he's pitching than he is when he's not pitching. He's very serious, very focused, very businesslike. Then you get a guy like Bassitt, who's up there just playing tiddlywinks up there on the mound, shaking off his own.
Playing in the dirt.
Yeah, shaking himself off, playing in the dirt. Like, it just depends on who you're dealing with out there. And you go and, yeah, before the pitch clock, you could go and do whatever. But now you only have, 5 visits?
Yeah.
So you better not go and dick around if you're going to go up there.
Yeah.
This is an actual question, though. You reached 10 years of service. We'll do a clap. Everybody in the room, hey, guys, clapping. Hey, thank you. How rude.
That's awesome.
Congratulations. But do they give you anything cool? Like, do you get some kind of fun plaque or like I know there's a gold ticket for 25 years. You get
I didn't get anything.
You don't get anything?
No.
You get a gold like lifetime pass at 8 years, which is cool, like memento.
But I still haven't got mine.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it got lost in the mail or something.
That sucks.
Like, I need to get that.
Yeah, you should call somebody about
You can get like 2 tickets to any big league game.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was hoping they gave me like everything ever that was with my history and
well, you get full pension, which You can.
Well, that's important, I guess. But I thought,
I like
Value
that
for
for
yourself.
attention.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Go
A
buy something
handshake?
for yourself.
You're good. You can,
Yeah.
you can get whatever you
a
want.
parade. I thought maybe they'd be planning the parade.
No.
LSU will. As soon as they focus on Libby Dunn and Skeens is gone, they're gonna throw a parade for Gossie. Did a lot for that university.
Yeah, do they have like a wing that's like in your honor or something like that yet?
No.
I'm working on this then. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Good luck.
Did you make that up?
No, I just thought they should have.
Oh, yeah.
I make up a lot of things.
Yeah.
I do not. Always serious, always telling the truth.
I had a sandwich in Columbia. 2 sandwiches now.
Really?
2 sandwiches.
I thought you just meant I ate a sandwich. I'm like, oh
No, I
no,
had a
he's humble
sandwich.
bragging. He's had 2 sandwiches
It
named
was
after. Well,
called the
he's going to
walk-off.
have a hot dog named after
A
him.
walk-off Whit. In case you didn't know.
Did you know that he had a walk?
In case you didn't know, I had a walk-off to win the College World Series.
Yeah, I knew that.
Line drive to right field.
Everybody knows that.
See? We just had in our last segment with Ernie, we had a discussion on how the call of that was my ringtone, my first spring training.
Was it really?
Please make fun of him still.
No,
It was
wasn't.
bad. It was really bad. We talked about how big of a douche I was.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was bad. It was so bad.
That's so
I thought I was so cool, and really found out quickly I was not cool.
That's fine. Gausman has a bunch of people when they're wearing T-shirts with his face on. There's like 15,000 people that are coming here just to wear his face because he told them like, hey,
That's electric.
it's kind of a big deal.
Is I don't know Max, but is Max basically like playing with a older Bassitt? I feel like they're two peas in a, I
100%.
feel like they're two peas in a pod.
100%.
From the outside
Yeah.
looking in, they seem like the same
yeah.
person.
Dealing with both those guys has been a lot. Because dealing with one of them is a lot. And so having both of them, man, they are just nonstop, constantly thinking, talking about pitching, talking about spin rates, and I mean, stuff that I have no idea about. And they're talking about it. But super smart pitchers. So it's nice to hear, but man, you
goobers.
just got,
They're goobers, right?
Yes.
It's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
We probably would love to talk to you for an hour, but we're getting told we have to wrap up. But one of the last segments we have is called Fans on Deck, where they either submit questions or everything. They just said Whit's name in here, but I'd be curious your take on this as well, just because you have to hear this over and over again.
Hey Whit, Dierks Bentley here. Just curious, in your opinion, who has the worst walk-up song?
Could be a pitcher's warm-up song. I know we've spoken about Pink Floyd to Use Money, but Dierks Bentley, award-winning country artist.
But before he says the worst, probably the best pitcher walkout song. And I'm not saying that because he's sitting right here, but it's sick. Especially when you're cruising and you're striking everybody out.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm a little biased.
That's a good
you know?
That's a good one.
I just love Pink Floyd, and I love the cash register.
Yeah.
I just think that's so cool. You know, it's not in any other songs. Like, you just don't hear that in other songs. So it's just so cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Do you have one that sticks out as a bad one?
Man, honestly, we have a couple bad ones on our team. We got a couple bad ones. Bargers is not great. I think Ernie up there is not great,
What's
to be
Ernie's?
honest.
Zombie Cranberries.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Nathan Lucas, I don't even know what song that is, but that ain't it. I love Kirky's, you know,
Yeah.
the standard Kirky, you know, the mariachi, like it's perfect.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
awesome.
solid
It's
one.
great. I think the best pitcher walkout on our team right now is Hoffman. You know,
Oh,
they
does he have
turn
like
the
a light
lights
show
off.
and everything?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
they do it so cool here.
He's got a really cool Kid Cudi song.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
Well, what I took out of that, you have the best walk-up song ever of all time. We really appreciate you being here. And when the Gauzy Dog happens and you also get a wing at LSU, full credit to us, okay?
Of course. Absolutely.
Batters up and the Buds are stepping up to the plate. Budweiser is encouraging all Buds to make time for baseball this summer. And we're in the middle of the baseball season. It's the beautiful and best time of year. Moments with your Buds, they're priceless. Savor the summer weather while cheering on your Toronto Blue Jays. Budweiser is the official partner of your Toronto Blue Jays. And baseball, let's be honest, it's better with your Buds. Limited edition Toronto Blue Jays Budweiser cans are now available at your local LCBO. Gausman is the best, ending your career in a Gauzy Dog. Like, what a beaut.
What a beauty.
What a beaut.
What a beauty. Absolute beauty. I wish I could say more about Gausman, but there's stuff like any teammate that you can't say, you don't want to say outside of clubhouse doors, but nothing bad, all just legendary stuff of why he's the greatest. But I'll keep those stories to myself. Sorry.
Well, we had the one fans on deck with Gausman, but it's time. We got a lot sent in, so here is a look at some more fans on deck. Thank you to everyone that has submitted their fans on deck, whether it be through YouTube comments, X, Twitter, Instagram, sliding into the DMs. Keep it coming. So,
Don't forget TikTok.
Or TikTok. Yeah. You have to go.
Stay hip.
Stay hip. Yeah. I still call it Twitter, so I'm not hip. You know that I'm not hip. X is going to give it to you. Is that hip that I'm referencing a song that's like 30 years old?
Do you know who sings it?
Isn't it Exhibit?
There you go.
Dude.
Do you know what Exhibit's known for besides rapping?
What?
You ever see Pimp My Ride? They have Pimp My Ride in
yes.
Canada. I always wanted my car to be on Pimp My Ride.
Well, now you don't need to. You have a ride that's pimping. You have a.
I'd like a velvet sofa in the back. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm sure that could be arranged. If they bring that show back, they should have you as the first guest. So we'll do that. But let's take a look at a couple of the questions that were submitted. Rather, I think they both were from YouTube. We're starting off with Kimmy, and I'm going to shout out to Kimmy because their photo is a dog. But a couple of questions for Whit. One, brutally honest opinions about the Rogers Center. Was it the best park and also the worst part? And like any stories of awkward encounters, with players or media or whatever throughout the Rogers Center when you were there?
I love the Rogers Center. I really did. It's a really fun place to play, especially when you're good as a home team. It was always one of the most sought out destinations when you're a visiting team, just because Toronto's such a great city. But the Rogers Center itself was awesome. The retractable roof. I love playing on a retractable roof because you're going to play that day no matter what. You're not going to have a rain delay, not going to have any weather issues. And if it's nice, they can open the roof. But so the Rogers Center was great. The crowd was electric when you're good. And I guess the cons would be the turf. After a while, turf can start wearing on you, wearing on your knees and your hips and your back. And I always prefer grass, but I get there's certain situations where turf makes more sense. And Toronto in April was probably one of those situations. So that would be the worst part, in my opinion. What they've done now with it is just incredible with the renovations and everything. And yeah, it's one of the coolest venues in sports now. Especially if you're a player, you get to see the locker room and what they've done. There's nothing like it in baseball. It's like a college football setup in there, which is a huge compliment. And it's really, really cool. So, what was the second part? Any stories or awkward encounters
with other players, media, fans?
Well, not like. There's a story about playing the Rogers Center. I just mentioned that you always know you're going to play. That's not necessarily true because in 2018, we're playing. We land in Toronto. It's either late April or early May. It wasn't like the first week, but it was early-ish in the season. There had just been a huge ice storm, and so we're on the bus and. You take two buses when you land. There's a coach's bus that goes first and the player's bus. So we're on the player's bus and we're following the coach's bus. And it's snowing and you see a big thing of snow, what we think is snow, come off of the coach's bus. And you guys know if you're living in somewhere that snows when, car sits, snow accumulates, and then it takes a minute and it comes off. So we see it come and hit the windshield. Realized quickly that it was a big sheet of solid ice. Hit the windshield, exploded the windshield, knocked our driver out. We're on the bus after a long plane ride, so a lot of us aren't paying attention to what's going on. Thankfully, Brandon Moss is sitting in the front row, and he has not participated in a lot of the stuff that we did on the plane and was very aware of what was going on. The guy gets knocked out. He jumps up, grabs the wheel, and as the driver's foot slips off the gas because he's knocked out, he slowly guides our bus to the side of the road. I'll share with you a picture of the windshield. It was crazy, and fortunately, the windshield absorbed the ice enough to where it didn't go through. And but anyway, so that was what happened when we got there, and then come to find out that a huge icicle fell off the CN Tower and punctured a hole in the roof of the Rogers Center. And so we were the first game in, I think it was like 20, 30 years that had gotten canceled in Toronto. So we had to play a doubleheader the next day while they patched the roof. So yeah, that was probably the craziest story of anything that happened to me in the Rogers Center, besides my man who's out front taking his shirt off, waving it whenever the team comes in. So shout out to you. But yeah, great place. Really love the Rogers Center. Really love what they've done with the place. And got to watch my first game there earlier this year. And as a fan, it's just as cool as a player. Maybe not quite as cool, but it's still pretty cool.
Thank you so much for the question, Kimmy. And I think Whit knows this already, and most people around me know. I don't get angry often. But I feel like this question from Journey for Beginners was trying to get me pretty riled up, because this is a way to get me going, because they said, love Lindsay, shout out to Sasky, even though Manitoba is better. That is such bull crap that you even put that in a sentence and put haha after. And Whit, I know you won't get that. That's just saying another province is better than my home province, and then be fighting words. Actually, I did get worked over that. When I read it the first time, I was like, that son of a... just not okay, but I'm going to let that go, because we're going to keep positive vibes, or posy vibes, which I learned kids say these days. Never going to say that again. But they want to know.
Are you done?
I'm done. Like, no, actually, I
really got you worked up, didn't it?
could probably rant for 10 more minutes about it, because when I moved to Toronto from Saskatchewan, when the education system failed me in our last episode where I said that Mexico was part of South America, yeah, I'll bring that up over and over again.
Yeah, there was 2 Canadians in our circle that thought Mexico was part of South America. So I don't know what that means to Canadian education, but not a good one. Not a good reference, that's for sure.
Nate was from America, so that's okay.
Was
yes. So I'm just saying.
Why didn't you correct me at the time? Sorry, Nate.
I know. Because I think Nate was just trying to be a good team player and help me out, because you were roasting me all day, buddy. But when I moved here, so the capital of the province I'm from is Regina, Saskatchewan. So like, there's not a lot. It's not like the States where you have 50.
Did you say Regina?
Regina.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
Every time a comedian would go to my hometown, their opening bit would be, "Hey, it's the city that rhymes with fun."
Clever.
Yeah, so I just tell people I'm from Saskatchewan. But people across the country, when I tell them where I was from, they're like, "Oh, hey, is that like in Manitoba?" I'm like, "It's the capital of a province in your home country. How don't you know?" So anyways, I'm going to stop ranting about this. But he had to ask this to you. What is your all-time favorite course when it comes to golf? Unseen.
Cypress shirt. It will be in the near future, but that is my all-time favorite golf course. It's in Pebble Beach. It's a super exclusive club in Pebble Beach. They're playing the Walker Cup there this year. It is just, it's hard to explain how special that place is, especially if you catch it on a good day. There's some crazy weather out there, but if you catch it on a beautiful sunny day, there's no better walk in golf. It's the most beautiful, prestigious golf course I've ever played. Haven't played Augusta yet, but I'm really into vistas when I'm playing golf. Like, a lot of people judge golf course based on the golf course itself. Mm-hmm. I like that. I'm just not that big of an architect to do that. I like the vista, and Cypress has the most beautiful vista that I've ever seen. Pebble Beach is up there too, but it's a good place. Got me going a little bit, because I really want to go back, but it's a really hard invite to get. So if anybody ever gets it, drop what you're doing, say yes.
Well, I'm never getting that invite, but what about the shirt that I know not? I'm realistic. What about the shirt you're wearing now? What's the golf course?
This is a really cool one too. Also a really, really hard invite. Chicago Golf Club, the first ever 18-hole golf course built in America in Chicago. I got to play that 2019, I think it was, maybe 2020. Maybe it was a COVID year golf trip. But awesome course. It's like going back in time. It hasn't really been touched since it was built in 1893, I think it was. And just a really, really fun place that I could not recommend enough if you get the invite. It's a hard invite to get. You won't be getting it, but hopefully some of the listeners will.
I was waiting for that. Some of our listeners that I hope get the invite, I just wanted to bring this up because if you're hearing Whit and I say shout out a bunch, please go listen to our last episode because we were slightly delirious, but Whit shouted out himself, which I will say was really funny. But the grounds crew at Rogers Center for the Jays game, they are such awesome people. I want to give a shout out to them. A couple of them listen to the podcast and wanted to say hi to you. What is the relationship between a ball player and the grounds crew? Like, how often are you guys interacting?
A good bit, because they're out there early, like pregame, like we are. You know, I would say as we get started for BP, as the home team, you're on the field first. So as we get started, they're kind of wrapping up what they have to do on the field, and then if we have early work, they're waiting for us to get done so they can drag the field, make sure the dirt's good. There's always back and forth because they want to know how we think the dirt's playing, and so they can make adjustments. And if there's anything that on the field wise that we want to see that's different, and they were so great about communicating with us and asking us what we wanted. And the dirt was always great. I mean, the turf is turf, so it can only so much you can do with that. But pitchers love the mounds. The batter's box is always good, and the dirt taking ground balls is always good. So no complaints from the surface from here, and I always loved it. And those guys made it easy. They're really hard workers, awesome people, and enjoyed interacting with them. So, but by the way, why didn't you tell me in Atlanta that I was pouring sweat? I just realized. I mean, I could feel it, but I didn't realize you could see bees going on my face.
I was trying.
It was hot,
I'm so sorry, but yeah, it looked like a waterfall was falling down your face. And the whole time I was trying not to laugh, but also I was thinking, like, do I have anything in my bag that you could wipe the buckets of sweat just dripping down your face?
Honest.
Made great TV. I'm sure, some people love that, and it might be their screensaver now. Shout out to them. But yeah, thank you for everyone for listening and for submitting your questions for Fans on Deck. Keep them coming. And thanks for joining us for another edition and episode of 6 Inning Stretch presented by Betway. Thanks for watching this video. If you want more interviews, analysis, or Blue Jays news from the 6 Inning Stretch, make sure to hit the subscribe button below or watch more of our content over here.